Yo, what's up, guys? This is Brandon, Hefé Media. I have the great honor and pleasure to sit here with the fabulous Linda. How do you even pronounce your last name? Alcatraz or?
No, Alcazar.
Alcazar? Okay.
I get that often, so.
Okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
So yeah, we're here at her beauty salon,
Right.
Glam Beauty Artistry, right? Okay. And so tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started. I know like you've been cutting my hair for a couple years now.
For many years.
Yeah.
It's been, I think, over 7 years maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
But I know you specialize like with women, right?
Right.
Kind of give me your background.
Well, the thing is, I specialize in women's color just because that's like, per se, the golden ticket. It's what brings me the most
Revenue?
Yes.
It's okay. You don't have to be shy. This is the Hefé Media podcast. This is business right here.
Right. But what I wanted to say is that I started doing men haircuts.
Yeah.
And then gradually ventured on to like women, only because I was in demand for it. But honestly, I started off doing mostly men's haircuts.
Okay, so like fades and like tapers and
Yes.
like faux hawks and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, yes, the faux hawk was like one of the major like haircuts I did for like years in the beginning. I feel like I mastered that haircut, and then obviously like any trend, it dies out.
All right, so from the sounds of it, you actually started working with guys first pretty much, and then that kind of evolved into women.
Right.
Okay. But can you go a little more in depth on like your journey as far as like being a hairstylist?
Well, the interesting part is that I did not know I wanted to do it in the beginning. I always say this, like I felt like it fell into my lap. I didn't know that it was like my passion, but it came so natural. I thought it was normal, like doing hair, getting ready. I have a sister, obviously you've met her. We grew up together. So
she was supposed to be on the podcast.
Yeah, but she bailed. I hope you see this.
She's about to roll up right now.
Well, I grew up having a sister, so we would do all kinds of things to each other, like our nails. I remember like butchering our nails with acrylics and trying to fix it. So I thought it was normal doing all these girly things because obviously like I had a sister and we would try all kinds of stuff, and we were so like fashion forward and we were looking for the next new trend. So we were on top of all of that, and I thought it was normal, but apparently like people go to school to later figure out that that's what they want to do in life.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I just pretty much it just landed in my lap and I ran with it.
Okay. And so like what age was that? Like, cause I mean you told me you've been like, I mean you're pretty young.
I was young. I was that girl in high school where I was like, yeah, I could cut your hair. I know how to do it. Like I do it all the time.
You were doing it in the bathroom?
Yeah,
like...
I would bring my kitchen
really?
scissors and cut the girl's hair in the parking lot.
No way.
Yeah, so everyone trusted me even though I knew nothing about it. But I felt like I did, so I always felt confident.
So the parents hated you.
Probably, like, who did that to you?
Yeah.
That girl, my friend, right? But I feel like I was always that fearless person who was like, I know how to do it. Let me do it. I've done it before.
Yeah.
And since I was so into fashion, they trusted me because they were like, oh, your hair looks good.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Okay. So basically, like, if you were to like quantify it, like, how many years of experience would you say you had?
Like before being
like
professionally
now,
licensed?
just now, like how overall, just general. I mean, you could
Since the beginning?
you could categorize it into like whatever.
So
like yeah.
I started actually like playing with just like grabbing the scissors and actually like chemicals and bleach since I was maybe like 13. But professionally, like actually call myself a professional, I would say I was 19. 2009.
And you're like 21 now?
Yeah.
So like 2 years. She's been like 2 years already.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
it's been like 12 years of being a professional.
Okay, all right. And so like obviously
I've been in the hair game way too long.
No, that's good. I mean, unless you want to start venturing off to other things, but
I mean, I do. I have
for sure. I mean,
other
we all
interests.
do. I mean, obviously, I enjoy what I do. Oh, I'm touching the mic. Obviously, I enjoy what I do as well, but ultimately, you want to
Grow.
diversify your
Right.
investments and make other things grow too. So,
Yeah.
but to touch on your growth as an artist, like, how do you find yourself like growing every day or getting better every day? Like, how like when you're like doing hair or whatever the case may be, like what like minor breakthroughs that you have that you're like, fuck, I didn't know about that, but now I know about that, and I'm like
right.
even better now internally. Not that you're like bragging to the world.
But the thing is, you never stop learning. Even the smallest thing, you could be like, I know how to do this 100%, but then you see some of your coworkers tweak one little thing around, and it just changes the whole game of what you thought you knew everything about, and then you just become 1,000 times even better than what you thought you were. So you're constantly growing. You're learning from everyone around you, even in the, like, say, professional, and like you see people, you talk to people day to day, and you see what not to do and what to do, and you just grow as a whole person.
Are there people like online, like maybe on TikTok? What are we on right here? TikTok. Are there people online that maybe that you follow that maybe inspire you, or maybe like you learn from?
Right.
They give you tips. Like,
I mean,
can you talk about that?
No one gives you anything for free, but you do get inspired, and you're like, hey, like, I love what they do. And as an artist, you're constantly looking for inspiration and a little bit of motivation to like keep going, because sometimes we burn out. We work long hours. It's very
Time consuming?
Time, but like labor. Like, you're working with your whole body. You're constantly working, and it's draining, and you want to like tap out. But then you see somebody do something artsy and like amazing. You're like, I want to go to work tomorrow and try this, or get creative and keep going.
Yeah. And so, what would you say to like maybe the younger girls or men that are like interested in doing like maybe what you're doing or having some similar route? Like, what would you kind of tell them?
Oh my gosh! Number one, go to school. I don't care what it takes. Go to school, get licensed. It doesn't matter if the struggle is real, but as long as you get that little paper that gives you the okay to work in your state, be licensed by the state of California, you're unstoppable. Like, you need that in order to grow. I've heard people say going to school is a waste of time. I could just do it at home. But honestly, if you want to stay small, work at home.
Yeah.
I mean, not that people are not going to take you serious, but having all your ducks in a row and being licensed, definitely the sky's the limit. You could be making so much money. It's insane. And I feel like we're not given enough credit because people don't put their stories out there, like how successful they are. But oh my gosh, I wish younger kids were not discouraged and be like, oh, that's not a career, because let me tell you, it's such a good career. You just gotta focus and take it serious. I
mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like individually what you define as,
it doesn't matter
fulfilling or
what you do, you can make something out of it. I believe that 100%.
Yeah, if it's your passion, if mom wants you to be a doctor or whatever, but you want to be.
Which was my case, and
I
was
really?
Like, no, because I went to beauty school very early on. I was
Your mom
17,
was like, no,
and she was like, what the heck? No, you're not. And then I was like, yes, I am. So there I was, and then I wanted to quit. I cried a storm, like, I don't want to do this because, you're young and you don't want to commit to school.
Yeah.
But she's like, nope, you started it, you're going to finish it. And then I finished, and then she's like, this is not a career, so go back to college. I went back to college like 3 times. By the time I was 24, I was like, I'm done. And obviously during those years of college, I worked at the salon and got me through with college, and I was never like completely broke, but like
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
take it serious enough to grow because I was focused on college and then other things. And after that I was like, that's it, college is not for me. I don't even know what I'm going to college for. And after I decided to take my career seriously, I just
started to blossom.
escalated.
Yeah, I mean, two things. I mean, first thing, like myself went to school and I got like a business degree or whatever.
But that's your passion, right?
Well, yes, but I mean, part of me is like, you don't need a business degree to, be successful.
But it
But at the
helps.
same time, like, and I just did another podcast for a client
Like
of mine.
I was saying, like I wouldn't discourage college. Like go to school, learn, have that experience, because you're not gonna learn that anywhere else.
Well, the thing is this, like one of the main things I think is that it teaches you, it shows you that you can complete a task. You can complete a task and you can follow through. And
college
you can,
is not easy. How many?
I
mean, it's
50-50, it was 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, it is easy if you think about it. But how many people drop out because they can't commit?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was...
How many people do you know that have actual degrees?
I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was definitely work. It was definitely work.
Yeah, and people don't like to work.
No, they don't. They just want they just want to check. They just want like
a 9 to 5, be comfortable.
Whatever. They just want like automatic shit.
Right.
But no, and then the other part of it, I was gonna say was like, kind of explain to me your journey. I mean, obviously you already kind of explained a little bit about your journey, but we're here in this beautiful location. I know you put like thousands of dollars into this place. Like you have the tile, you have the beautiful mirrors, these nice sofas. We have this thing in the background, which you referred me to, different resources and stuff. So kind of explain to me like, and even like you were mentioning like people that want to work from home, and like from a business perspective, like when you're cheap, you don't grow. But if when you're like willing to invest in your resource, into your craft.
I always tell my friends that being cheap, you're cheating yourself from greatness. Because if you're cutting corners and you're trying to get a deal on anything, I don't care what it is, like you're only cheating yourself. Obviously, if you want great quality, you gotta invest. If it's in your career, yourself.
For sure. Especially yourself,
you
right?
You gotta spend to evolve. Like, don't be cheap. Don't cut corners. Don't like go all in. Try to get quality stuff, because in the end, going cheap or cutting corners, you're only gonna set yourself back.
For sure. So like before coming into this physical location, for example, what was like the mindset that you had? Like what was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. This is what I'm gonna do.
I always knew I was gonna be a business owner. I did not know how or when or how. I had no idea how I was gonna make it happen, but I always knew like it was gonna happen.
For sure.
So
what was kind of like your thought process during that time, if you could remember? Save money.
Save money. The best advice I could give anyone, I don't care what you're doing, even if you're not doing anything, save your money. Mm-hmm. Don't spend on temporary things that are going to make you temporary happy. Like
basically invest in assets and not in liabilities that are just like taking, right? And put in money into things that are actually going to produce more for yourself.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Mm-hmm. They think quick,
Where
fast,
did you learn that
now.
from? Where did you learn that from?
I feel like there's two types of people in this world. There's the losers, and then there's the ones that actually think ahead. I swear to God, because you could tell the moment you speak to someone and you start talking to them, you know either they're gonna fail in life or they're gonna succeed.
So actually, I wanted to touch up on that. So me personally, and I've seen these memes online, like hairstylists, barbers, not necessarily barbers. Like barbers, I think is a different kind of category. Nothing against barbers, but specifically hairstylists. I mean, me personally, I like a beautiful woman and like, do my hair, whatever. Like I just would prefer that than like a barber like doing my hair and like slapping the back of my head and shit. And it's like you're done.
There's two different styles. Either you want to be like super shaved and clean, or you actually want someone to like customize your haircut.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just preference, like.
Yeah, of course.
Personally, like I said just moments ago, but as far as, and what I believe, like I said with the memes and stuff, is like, it's kind of like two services when you come here. It's like you get your hair did or whatever the case, but then you're also like a therapist, right?
Of course.
So can you explain to me, because you were mentioning like people having like certain mindsets and then like other mindsets. So like explain to me kind of your daily process routine. How do you kind of differentiate yourself with different type of customers or different personalities?
Well, the thing is, I have to just listen. Personally, I have no drama in my life. Like, my life is boring. It's very simple. But because I make it like that, right? So my entertainment is all the BS my clients come with. And I have to be that therapist and, like, uplift and encourage them, like, everything's going to be okay. So I have become a great listener. I remember things, and I learned things from them, like, hey, don't do that because this this, or whatever. So that part, I feel like has helped me in my own personal life, like,
because like if you think about it, you're like working on their brain almost, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's their hair, but
it's draining. But I think I've mastered it, where I'm just like, I listen to a certain point, you know, like I have to know when to just cut it off because it's draining.
Like I was saying, for myself, you know, as an entrepreneur, when I'm like talking with people and like say if I'm like, I'm pretty good at distinguishing like who's who or reading people.
Right.
But like, for example, if I'm like telling someone about an opportunity or whatever, and they start going into like the negative aspect of it, I'm just like quick. I'm just like quick, like, oh, this is not my person, you know?
Right.
So like, how do you kind of deal with that? Like,
well, even taking, because I have to do consultations, right? You kind of read the client if it. Some people are just problematic, period. Like,
for sure.
There's no, you'll never make them happy. So you kind of talk to them, ask them, like, you know, if their goal is realistic or unrealistic, and then if they throw in all this stuff, then you know, like, you wouldn't want to work with someone who's going to give you a hard time. Yeah. So you kind of learn as you go how to deal with those people.
Yeah, I actually did a video on TikTok the other day, and I mean to do like another one like offside of TikTok, whatever, but it has to do with target marketing, right? And so like kind of like the general idea of it is like, typically what I find myself is like the clients that pay the most complain the least, are most happy and they complain the least, but the clients that pay the least complain the most. Right. And so, I mean, do you probably have experienced the same thing or what?
Well, your clients who actually pay is because they appreciate your service. They appreciate you, so they're not going to go anywhere else. They actually value what you do, what you bring to the table. So they're actually the people that you want to work with, because you'll go on like beyond what you could actually like deliver, and always bend over backwards for them, because you know they're never complaining, and yourself, you value those type of clients as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, like me, myself personally, like I'm really trying to dial in on the clients that are either serious about what they want to accomplish, or you know, the ones that are not gonna like,
or even
flake, or just like
they book
cry
and
so
then
much
they don't show up and don't pay. It's why? And then they get mad because you don't want to deal with that no show, no pay type of person, right?
Well, another thing too, and I mentioned it in my TikTok video, was like you can't play both fields. You like literally you can't be like, I'm gonna be charging cheap and charging expensive, or not expensive, but you know, like quality. You know what I mean? You have to pick one. But it
comes down to honestly, pricing. I feel like it comes down to your self-worth.
For sure.
Because if you don't value yourself, then you're gonna, you know, feel bad for charging and waste your time.
No way, because they have to understand, like, for example, yourself and myself, like we put thousands of dollars into education, our equipment, the materials.
But you know what's that? We're both artists, right? We create.
For sure.
Create art because this is not like being a doctor
For
or
sure.
whatnot.
No, and even artists. I mean, I believe
But
like
I
art
always-
is everything. You
But
know.
yes, because
Yeah.
it, like music, it keeps everyone happy. It brings out happiness from people.
'Cause I know
right?
when I get my haircut, I'm like, sup?
Yeah. So I feel like we're not valued. We're not
We could tend to not be valued.
right
by certain
because
people.
it's not a career. Like my mom said, and she sent me off to college again. I feel like we're looked down as less than. But you know what's crazy? I'm making more money than say like an RN nurse or who knows, you know?
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
for
people, the average person does not make what I make.
Because
and
you're
it's-
willing to risk more than.
But see, I feel like I've always been that person, even with fashion. Even me as that kid in high school, I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna wear this, you know, and
Yeah.
like stand out from the rest, even though it made me different from the whole crowd.
Yeah.
But then I'm different now from like the average person.
For
so.
sure. Yeah, I mean.
How do you
You
how
get
do you
to
see that?
you get to decide, like, if you ultimately didn't want to work, you can be like, hey, you know what, we got to reschedule.
Of course,
you know?
and I've seen that from other stylists where they don't answer their clients or like they act like they're busy, but I'm like, you're not doing anything, so why not hustle a little harder?
Yeah. And you know what, like, and this is
But back to saying there's two types of people in this world.
Yeah, what's up? What about it?
The lazy and like the hustler.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I was like mentioning about like the whole 9-to-5 thing. Like, you know, I love my mom, you know what I mean? And so she works a 9-to-5 job, right? And I kid with her, like sometimes she has to work on Saturdays and stuff. And I'm like, I tell her like, hey, just tell them like, hey, if I'm going to work Saturday, it's going to be like double. And she's like, hey, it's not how it works or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, like.
But it's fine. Like, I don't not knock that out. Like, some people need that 9-to-5
For sure.
structure to even
9-to-5,
function.
9-to-5 is good. 9-to-5 is great.
Yeah.
9-to-5 is awesome. You know, it just depends on your specific.
Or honestly, like, it's
route.
so weird how the brain works. Some people need the 9-to-5.
Oh,
I
yeah,
gotta
for
clock
sure.
in at
For
this
sure.
time and leave at this time, or
For
else
sure.
they're a mess. Like, they don't know what to do with themselves.
For sure. Me personally, I like
And
being.
there's me and you that we want to run wild when we want, when we want.
For sure. No, I like being alone a lot of the time, like working in my little cave and stuff. You know,
too.
like you in your cave over here. I don't know, like ultimately, I don't want anyone like telling me like what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I just want to be doing
I
my
feel you
thing,
on that one.
and like you hire me because I'm the quote unquote expert.
I always say this. Shout out to my old boss. Well, I had two of them, right? But I always tell my clients, if I was my boss when I was younger, I would have fired myself because I acted like the boss. I went in there, I wasn't disrespectful or rude or anything, but I was like, okay, see you later. Like, I would come in and make my own rules. And now looking back, I was like, I would have fired myself.
I remember like, shout out to LA Fitness because that was like my actually first real job, like technical job. But I remember like I was trying to get a job for so long, like when I was around like maybe 19, 20 years old, and I applied to 24-hour fitness like so many times. I had so many interviews with these guys. They never fucking hired me.
But why? Why
I
do
don't
you
know.
think?
I think they probably like were like, nah, this guy's gonna be like take my job or something. I think like sometimes when you get into roles like corporate roles, they
want submissive people. When you
yeah
come off too strong, they're like, oh, you're too much.
Exactly. You
But
know.
this is why you're your own boss.
Exactly. No, and I thank God that they didn't hire me.
Back to
you know.
there's
Shout out
two
to LA Fitness. 'Cause
there's
I'm a
two
LA,
types of people
I'm
in
a
this
LA,
world.
I'm a LA Fitness member and not a 24-hour fitness member. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I wanted to talk to you because next week I'm going to be filming with another guy in Downey. He's currently the director of, I believe, improvement of Downey. It's District of Downey, and obviously you're a business owner in Downey. I wanted to maybe pick your brain a little bit on like maybe some of the things you want to see happen in Downey, some improvements. What do you think they need? Obviously, you've seen the past couple of years it's been improving, but like what are some more
And
things
I
you want to
grew
see?
up
If you
here.
guys in the comments are from Downey, or maybe you guys are from the surrounding areas and you want to see some like more hype in Downey, put it in the comments. We want to see, we want that feedback. So when we're sitting down with this guy next week, we can let him know about that and incorporate it into, you know, to the city of Downey. So what do you want to see happen?
Well, I grew up here, and I feel like we love our city, but I think more restaurants, more...
Not Mexican restaurants,
no,
right?
Please, no, not another one.
Because we have like too many Mexican restaurants, right?
Yeah, but just like...
La Perla del Mar is the best one, just FYI.
Yes.
They got karaoke there, shit.
So more restaurants, just
like
more
what?
places
What type
to
of
go
restaurant?
out
Like
and
what?
eat.
Like Mediterranean or what?
I mean, we got a few of those too, but anything at this point, get creative.
Yeah.
Be a little trendy, a little artsy. Like,
So I know they're opening up a lounge on the corner here in Downey Avenue, and
I saw that.
and they're opening another one, like a. It
But
kind of reminds
please,
me
like,
of like.
no more Mexican restaurants.
Yeah,
but
for reals. Too many
anything
mariscos,
that-
huh?
Yeah, which I'm not complaining, but
Yeah,
it
just
would be nice to have something
A
different.
little too much, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything else you'd want to see like in Downey, like maybe like a different type of theme thing, like maybe out of all the places that you traveled or anything, like is there something that you would want to kind of have see it here, like maybe like containers? Like I was driving down in Southgate and Taco Bell freaking has container restaurant.
What?
Is there something like that maybe?
I have not seen that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, something different. I don't care what it is, as long as people get creative and attract people where we want to actually go and, you know, enjoy their services.
You know what? Remember they had Mi Cielo? Did you ever go there or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was so freaking cool to have like a rooftop thing in Downey.
Right.
I don't know what happened, but
I mean,
you know,
that's nice, but can they put a little bit more effort into it?
a little more effort.
Because the potential is there.
Yeah. People want to come here and spend money for sure.
Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of people coming from surrounding areas. People
This is
actually,
this is
a
the
lot of my
Mexican Beverly
clients-
Hills.
Yeah, a lot of my clients say, "Oh, we come from Fontana, something like crazy far to come eat to that place that
Which
you
one?
just mentioned,
La Perla?
the Cielo one."
Oh, Mi Cielo?
Yeah,
But
they're
it's not
like,
Mi
"You
Cielo
guys
anymore."
they tell me you guys have like the best restaurants, and I'm like,
From
"Yeah,
Fontana,
I
yeah.
guess."
When you come in from Fontana.
But I mean, like, they come from all kinds of places.
Yeah,
but they're like, I've heard of Downey. We come to eat here all the time. And I'm like, huh, interesting. Well, we're trying to go, like, to LA or whatnot.
Okay. All right. So I actually want to kind of shift into some new topic. If you're listening to this, Hans, we need some new restaurants. We need some mixing in it. We want some cool, fun stuff for the younger crowd. And I mean, the crime and all that is pretty low. It's pretty like,
We're
you know,
a pretty safe city.
pretty safe city. So we're good on that. We appreciate that. But kind of to like transition into some different topics. As far as like getting new clientele, like if you're a guy, a man, and you want to get like a haircut, your price went up already, right? It's too late, right?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not taking new male clients. But to all the women, you're welcome to book with me. My books are open, so everyone's welcome.
And how can we find you? Should we just hit you up on social media?
Social media is the best way. We have all kinds of outlets like TikTok, Instagram.
What's your favorite?
I would say Instagram. I will get to it faster.
But you like TikTok. I hear you talking about TikTok more.
Well, it's new to me. I'm still learning
It's so
how
it's
to
so
use
addicting.
it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok the other day for like an hour. I was just like kept freaking scrolling these fuckers on TikTok.
So you learn a lot.
Huh?
And
Yeah.
actually, it gives people like a visual of
I like
what
TikTok.
of who you are
Yeah,
and
for
what
sure.
you bring to the table. So that's been fun, like showing people my day-to-day artistry.
For sure. Yeah, no, you've been doing a great job, and I've seen you grow the last couple of years. I remember seeing you at the office here, my office. We share an office here
Blue
locally.
hair.
Yeah, blue hair in all types of different colors, and you're now here in this gorgeous place, and you know you're doing what you want to do. You know, like
Yeah, living my dream, because it started with a dream, not knowing how or when or what, but all I knew is that I had to hustle, save, and when the time was right, I had the money up front, like, let's make it happen.
if someone's out there and they want to, like, maybe they have the paperwork that you were talking about, like schooling and stuff, and they're like, fuck, Linda is like awesome, like I want to work with her. Should they hit you up? Are you open to that?
Oh, yes, I would love to show someone who is starting out in the industry and wants to grow and learn. I'm here to show you the ropes and everything that I know. I'm more than open. I'm like an open book. You ask, I tell. Like,
For sure.
yeah.
Cool. All right, well, I wanted to wrap it up. I know you have to travel to different places, I guess tomorrow morning now, but it's a Friday night, so I just wanted to wrap it up. Any closing comments? Anything you want to share with the audience? Maybe
Go to school. Like, just go. Please go to school. Get
what school did you go to?
Get any certificate. Not certification, because that's, to me, BS. Get license. Get the paperwork. Get at least your AA. Get something. Just
What
start.
school did you go to, or what one do you recommend for them at least?
I went to
Beyond Wonderland?
Beyond 21st Beauty Academy in Santa Fe Springs. They're awesome. They will drill what you have to know for you to actually pass the exam, the state exam, which is what you need. So they're very good. Like, almost 100% that you're gonna pass. And then my sister is going to one here in Downey called something Cosmetica something.
And she was supposed to be on the podcast?
Yeah, but she bailed.
She said she didn't know. Shout out to her. What's her business? What does she do?
Oh, she does lash extensions. So we're a great team.
Cool. So anyways, I wanted to close out today's podcast. We were talking, so we'll probably do more little episodes in the future, but I want to thank you guys for watching. Linda will be getting a copy of this, obviously, and being able to share this with her audience. And just want to thank you, Linda.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me and choosing me.
Oh yeah.
From all these other people.
No. You're important. You've been here since day one, so it's all good. Let's get a hug in or what? All right, cool.